Today's sponsor is Audible.com, who has more than 180,000 audiobooks and spoken word audio products. Get a free audiobook of your choice at www.audibletrial.com/shark. Hello, welcome to the Movies, Films, and Flicks podcast. I'm your host, John Lossow. Joining me, as always, are my co-hosts, Mark Hoffmeyer.
I am not your damn mother.
I didn't.
What the hell was that from?
I didn't think you were.
Wait, what's that? Is there a follow-up line to that?
I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and find out.
Oh man, I think you're blowing. Well, John, let me go say hi. I think you're blowing John's mind.
Yeah, like I'm just sitting here like wondering when I'm gonna find out what's going on with I am not your damn mother.
The rest of this podcast is gonna be a wash for you, Love and Good.
I'm not damn mother. Was that what like one of the people said to Bruce Willis? And
Nope.
no, okay.
You started to sound like what's that? What's that you said?
I don't know. I mean, you just kind of blew my circuits, man. I'm like the T800 with the computer virus in the 90s. I'm just
There is smoke coming out of one of your ears right now.
processing.
It's just like Levin goes going like, what's going on? I don't get the movie reference.
Wait, he adopted a new language when what's going on?
He was doing jazz hands.
Levin Good is standing up right now, two-stepping. I have no idea why.
By myself.
Yep.
Man, you really messed up his mind, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm like a malfunctioning Westworld host right now.
That's right. Oh, he's doing the Charleston now. Jeez Louise.
So I keep hearing good things about Westworld. Like, I was planning to just binge it, but I think I might just watch it. I don't know. Is it good?
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Really?
I gotta wait a couple weeks because I'm taping it up. But
Yeah.
all the websites I like to go to, they're like, let's talk about this that happened last night. And I'm like, son of a bitch.
And if you were ever interested in knowing what Thandie Newton looked like naked, this is your show.
Well, I mean, I don't think I ever wondered that, but I think I'm intrigued now. So I take it it's like one of those shows where it's like you have like a crazy theory like every week about what's going on in the show, kind of like Lost.
They're
like,
in purgatory.
Oh, really? Oh, man, not again.
Spoiler alert! 10 years later.
Oh, man.
It's like, oh man, I was only halfway through like season 7, Mark.
Right, here's what we gotta do, guys.
Yeah.
All right, the three of us will sell everything we have. Right?
Okay.
I'm sure my wife will love that. We'll write a script and we'll make a famous show, right? And we'll run it for 10 seasons. Everyone's hooked, right? It has a couple of bad seasons. We get some new cast members. You know, there's some DUIs from cast members, et cetera, et cetera. The final episode, massive thing. You know, we get 70 million people watching it, live streaming around the world. And the ending is they're all in purgatory. Just to mess with people.
Oh, man.
How punk rock would that be?
Ugh. Just
If that happened in Westworld, I'd be upset.
Well, you know, speaking of purgatory, I think it's time to answer some listener questions.
Speaking of purgatory,
Yeah.
a famous Lazarus transition.
Oh, Mark, lead us through the land of purgatory.
That's it.
Please.
Actually, I was just in Pittsburgh, and there was a restaurant called Burgatory.
Oh, that's genius, actually.
Yeah, I was like, touche.
Oh, man.
I didn't go there, but I like the name. It's like Sting. I appreciate that he's been around for so long. So the first one's by Vic, and it is Resident Evil or Underworld. Which movie series do you like the most?
Like,
okay, wait, now hold on. This is kind of hard to just give a flat answer. Like, if it's the three of us and we're drinking beer together in the living room, like we're all together watching these, I'm going to say Resident Evil. But if it's like, and it doesn't matter if you saw it recently or not, but if you're sitting down because you want to watch a movie, it's Underworld.
Wait, all four of them?
Yes.
So listen,
If
guys.
I'm comparing it to Resident Evil is not exactly a substantial plot, story-driven.
These movies are like comfort food. Like, I would say the first ones are okay. The second ones are not okay. The third one,
Underworld Evolution, was the best thing ever.
the second one,
Oh yeah, I loved it. The action was amazing.
the second one.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
I remember
Loved the second
almost falling asleep. The third
one.
one,
Loved the second one.
I think the third one, Underworld, has an upper hand, but the fourth and fifth Resident Evils, they became just so crazy. I like them. So, but I think this explains it perfectly for me. The average for all the Resident Evil movies on Rotten Tomatoes is 26%.
okay.
The average for Underworld is 25.75.
Is what for Underworld?
25.75 as opposed to 26.
Wait, are these critic or audience scores?
Critic. So the critics, they're both 25 or 26, but Resident Evil has a 0.25 higher, score. And I think that's about right for me. I think they're dead even. If these two are racing, right? If Mila and Kate were racing, Mila would get her nose out front. It would be a photo finish. Nose would be, her nose would be a little bit above Kate's. Like, it would be so close.
That's unfair. She has that super demon zombie retrovirus thing from the game.
Yeah, but she's a vampire, Celine. So that may equal each other out.
They're not as fast as the Blade vampires, though. Those things were running as fast as trains.
No, they just filmed her running in slow motion all the time in Underworld to show her off. So we don't really know how fast.
That's true.
And also, if you're looking for audience scores, IMDb, they like Underworld 66.5 as opposed to Resident Evil 61. So it seems like the mass populace likes Underworld more than Resident Evil.
But I feel like, in all fairness, that's not a big margin, though. That's a tough one.
Like, I don't know. I was watching. We were cooking the other day, and I just put the two movies on Netflix for the background noise. And, like, these movies are really silly. Like, they're really silly. Like, like in Underworld, she lives in this mansion where all these vampires do all day is lounge. They just lounge.
They just sit around and sulk.
Yeah, and then, like, they battle these werewolves. I don't even understand that. And then they do this.
I've never seen so many well-dressed vampires look so bored.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, they just mope. They just mope. And then she's shooting priceless statues. And then you get the sequel where they're chased by this Irish guy. And then there's a prequel. And then the fourth one, there's a werewolf who's stupid. And then the Resident Evil movies, I just feel like they've gone so bonkers. Like, they've just, like, they're so, like, unself-conscious about their stupidity that I've, like, embraced that.
Oh, no, I agree. They definitely, maybe not in the first movie, but even by the second movie, they realized, like, guys, when we filmed that first movie, we were basically all meth tweaking the whole time, having a fever dream. But now let's just, people like that. So let's just do it for 6 more movies.
Yeah. And, like, I'm telling you, this is comfort food. Mm-hmm. These movies are comfort food.
Well, like,
sure.
See, I can watch these movies alone, but I feel like the Resident Evil movies, I kind of need to have a drink and preferably company, preferably to enjoy them, like, to their maximum effect. Whereas, like, Underworld 1 and 2 anyway, I can just throw that on and enjoy it myself.
There's a scene in Underworld 2, Underwear 2, where that dude, it's like a 10-minute scene where he needs to block out the sun, and it's just him throwing paint at a window.
remember that.
It just kept going. I'm like, how long is he going to throw paint at these windows? He's not smudging it.
He was the dude with the secret Batcave lair and his 2 sex concubines when they came looking for answers about the half vampire, half lichen thing.
And what do they do all day? I mean, I get it, but like
they just sit around an orgy all day.
It's all day.
All day.
Well, they probably got a mope for like 6 hours a day.
There could be some of that.
They just lounge looking depressed.
Wait, Laz, what is your feeling on these 2 franchises?
I agree with like a lot of the previous points. Like they're very very similar in terms of entertainment value. Like it's comfort food, so it's kind of hard to say one's better than the other in that regard. But I feel like I got to give it to Underworld, mainly due to Kate Beckinsale. Because
and her butt in tight leather.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously she's hot. I mean, for sure. But Mila Jovovich
both of them are.
But you watch like a couple of interviews of Kate Beckinsale. She's hilarious. I think she was on the Graham Norton show a couple weeks back. Yeah, she was talking about how like she would play pranks on her co-stars. Like, I think I forgot who she played the prank on. It was like a recent movie she did. But like, she would make like she would take like fruit in her room and just like make penises with them, like maybe like a banana and 2 oranges, and she would just leave like these fruit penises outside her co-star's room. So every time like he would walk out of his room in the morning, he would just see like this giant penis or like a row of penises like made out of fruit. I'm just like, wow, Kate Beckinsale is a chick that I want to hang out with.
The other day, there's a picture of her in like a penis costume. She's like, I'm just a girl living in a man's world.
Oh dear.
And she also told a story on Graham Norton how I think she was with her husband and they were sleeping together, and she took a piece of chocolate out and stuck it in his butt.
It was a Toblerone, right, or something like that.
And like he had to get up. He had to get up real fast so he didn't shower. So he like put his boxers on real fast, his pants. He ran the set, and then like eventually like the chocolate like melted. And he's like, "What the hell?"
Oh my god!
She shoved a piece of chocolate in his butt.
He would have thought that he sharded himself.
Yeah, exactly. Now, guys, right now on Amazon Prime, there's this movie called Love and Friendship, directed by Whit Stillman. Kate Beckinsale's in it. Chloe Sevigny. It's sort of like their reunion from the Last Days of Disco. It's a unknown. It's not an unknown, but an unpublished Jane Austen story. But it's really fun. It's sassy. Like Kate Beckinsale she's really funny and witty. And if you've watched the Underworld movies, you get annoyed because she's so good in it. Like she's like, I would love to. She'll get nominated for like a Golden Globe. I'm certain. I would put 50 cents on it. But she's actually really funny. So it's called Love and Friendship on Amazon Prime, and I think you'd like it.
I'm going to bet a banana and apples fruit penis against your 50 cents.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why I'm going with Underworld, the fruit penis bouquet.
Yeah, Mila doesn't do any of that.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen like any interviews of her, like, so I don't really know what's going on with Mila.
You're right.
What's going on, Mila?
Well, don't forget, like her career started as an Eastern European model, so like she's probably more standoffish.
Yeah, I don't know. She's I'm not saying she's one of my favorite actresses, but like she's been like in a lot of movies I've enjoyed, like over the years. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Underworld, it's my answer.
I like it. You know what? I can't do it. I hate Underworld 4 so much that
I'm with you there. I am with you there. But I also I enjoyed watching them, but I was really not thrilled with the last couple Resident Evil movies. Like they were entertaining.
Oh, I loved them.
But I didn't find much satisfaction in them.
It was Dum Dum Town.
It was Dum Dum Town. Maybe I should have walked in knowing that, and I would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah. Dum Dum.
That's a surprisingly fun to be.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that both critic and audience scores would be so close for both franchises.
They're kind of the same thing.
But I would have figured that the critics would have liked Underworld more because the Underworld series has actually a plot that I can recall. Like, I can tell you what those Underworld movies are about, whereas Resident Evil, all I can really say is there was this virus and it got really quite out of hand, and they made 7 movies about that same thing.
I think the 4th Underworld killed it for Underworld.
Okay, that's fair, because they basically just said, we need to do vampires versus werewolves again, and we need the movie to be bigger. How do we do that?
Yeah.
Just make the werewolf gigantic.
And this sounds weird. I hate to say this, but there's a shot that they like showed in every preview, trailer, GIF review. It's the one of Kate Beckinsale crawling through the air ducts. I'm pretty sure that movie is that's the only reason it made money.
Like that one scene got
like, as far as putting something in a movie, that's the only shot that makes sense to me in that film. Because fanboys, you know what I mean? Like people are like, "Oh, I get it."
Oh yeah,
you're not wrong, Mark. You're
not. Like, I think the next one is just going to be that. It's going to be like, you know, The Descent. It's just going to be like following her with a camera for an hour and a half.
Right. Yeah.
And critics going to score it like 3%, but audience score is going to be like 87.
So, guys, what's the final answer here? You think Underworld or Resident Evil? Fruit penis. It's gotta be fruit penis, right?
Yes, that's the answer.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm calling it Kate Beckinsale by a fruit penis.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, she's just a woman living in a man's world.
Exactly.
And then someone else will say, "Oh, what about Mia Jovovich by a nose?" And I'll be like, "No, the fruit penis is longer than her nose."
Yeah. I mean, if you add both statistics together, Underworld wins. Mm-hmm. But since we don't like real answers, we're saying fruit penis.
Yeah, it's the only answer.
That's right. And so, speaking of fruit penises, our talk of Underworld led us to talking about Kate Beckinsale's classic Whiteout, which is basically a movie where a whiteout happens and you don't see what's happening for like 2 minutes, and it's stupid. So that's led him again. Vic led to ask, "What is your favorite cinematic snowstorm?"
So I had a lot of difficulty answering this because I thought of a bunch of snowstorm scenes in movies off the top of my head, and I did a Google search for some blizzard and snowstorm movies, and it didn't add a whole lot of substance. And I'm realizing, like, it seems that most of the time there are snowstorms, the snowstorms and what happens during the snowstorms isn't awesome. The snowstorms are usually just devices to isolate or to cut off communication, and they can have very powerful effects in that way, right? But like, I don't know. I've never really liked the effect of the snowstorm while on screen all that much. Like, I like it in Krampus when the girl's running around in the snow and the Krampus is jumping from roof to roof and stuff like that, and it ultimately kind of leads them to be marooned in the house. And Day After Tomorrow, like, there's just some cool shots, I guess. But like, I feel like snowstorms haven't really gotten their proper impact on screen, unless Kate Beckinsale is taking a shower during one.
White out. What about you, Laz?
So I think Empire. That's like a really popular choice, right? You know, with the battle scene on Hoth.
Oh heck yeah! And it's snowing, and he has to cut open the tauntaun.
Yeah, for warmth. Yep. Yeah. That's let's see. I'm trying to think of like other snow scenes that are just like memorable, and like, I just can't think of any.
Like
really.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That big storm. The snowstorm causes them to go into their trip. I like snowstorms that are catalysts for things like Levengood said. So you got there's some snowstorms in 30 Days a Night. Die Hard 2. I love that snowing there. He gets shot out of the building when it's snowing.
Oh, what about the end of the Shining? Does that count?
Yeah, that absolutely. I had that on my list too. I mean,
sure, yeah, where Jack Torrance is just frozen, looking like a dweeb.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's that movie Frozen where they're stuck on the ski lift and it's snowing. There's The Gray where Liam Neeson fights wolves. We got Let the Right One In, which is like a really nice. There's some like there's a beautiful shot of it's snowing a little bit and the boys being dragged behind this like ATV and a thing. But I think my favorite snowstorm, I know this is kind of easy, but planes, trains, automobiles, because it forces the whole terrible trip between two people that I love. So, and then The Shining, because that scene is amazing at the end. And the big storm, they're locked in, the isolation. The storm's like the big reason for that. So, yeah, I'm going Shining and planes, trains.
And it is really cool how those snowstorms in horror movies, anyway, right, or just how the snow and the weather, the cold weather itself can create a cabin in the woods scenario of isolation and cut off communication without feeling like, oh, they're just doing that again.
Yeah.
Because if you said, oh, in the Stanley Hotel, there aren't phones working because you're so remote, you'd just be like, oh, cabin in the woods scenario, got it. Check, moving on. Whereas for some reason with the snowstorm, right, in the winter and everything, it's like it just felt more legitimized, I don't know, and more dire, like it's a threat. Like, It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm glad, and I guess I'm glad it's not overused.
And then also like Ice Storm, Ang Lee movie, where like this storm traps like kind of sticks these families together, and they're all a bunch of turds, and it like this ends up with a bunch of white collar fighting. Like that's a good catalyst for that too. So
could you argue that Snowpiercer was just one big snowstorm scene?
That's right. It was one huge snowstorm scene.
Yeah, it
was perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
So, all right. So the answer is sticking axes into fish.
As it should be. Yeah, as it should be. Okay.
What about in the middle of a fight, John? Right, going back to our Kitchen Fights podcast. Right, some guy's fighting you, and you take 2 avocados and a banana, and you show him like a
penis.
Wait, are avocados fruit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, sure. You just show him that, and then the guy's like, and then you just throw it at him, and then drop kick him.
You just Beckinsale'd him.
Yeah, you got Beckinsale.
Then you stick the chocolate in their crack.
They're unconscious.
Yeah,
and he's in jail too. He's like handcuffed, and he's sitting there going, ugh.
I mean, that just seems very unnecessary, but I'm glad you did it.
Yeah. Like if I lost the fight because of if I got Beckinsale'd and then the chocolate, I'd be like in the cop car handcuffed, just going, I get it.
Look, getting Beckinsale'd sounds like cute when it's a fruit penis, but it doesn't seem so cute to me when someone legitimately thinks that they shat themselves a little bit. Like,
I can't imagine.
No one's gonna notice that it doesn't smell like shit when it's like moist and sticky down there, and you run to the bathroom and there's like liquid black in your underwear.
This is getting gross, dude. You're saying moist and sticky and liquid black.
You were talking earlier, like it melted when he was on set, and then he ran off to the bathroom. What do you think was going through his head? It was probably traumatic.
Yeah, and I guess if you tell the cops, like the cops are looking at you gross, like it's chocolate, and they're like, "Yeah, shut up."
It's like if it's chocolate, you touch it and taste it, and they're like, "No."
Oh, yeah. No,
but like the fruit penis, though. That's just kind of cute. Like, you have to smile at the fruit penis. My grandmother would smile at the fruit penis. My grandmother's not going to smile at the chocolate in the butt.
Oh, gosh.
So, did everybody answer, right, for this question?
Yeah.
Well, what's the final answer for this?
Chocolate butt.
Chocolate butt.
Chocolate butt. Kate Beckinsale is just permeating this entire podcast.
Good.
Jeez,
I think whenever you can throw in a little Kate Beckinsale, it's never a bad thing.
I'm not going to complain about that.
Right. Just don't watch Vacancy.
Yeah. Oh, I totally forgot she was in that.
Don't do it.
Yeah. All right. Lemongood, I think you have a topic for us this week, right?
Yeah, about a year ago, Mark and I were trying to come up with podcast topic ideas like we typically do on a weekly basis, and sometimes we just take turns, and sometimes we discuss it. And a year ago, Jupiter Rising came out.
Jupiter Ascending.
I've
been calling it Jupiter Rising all the time since you said that to me. I typed it in the other day. I wrote something the other day as Jupiter Rising.
Well, to be fair, Jupiter Rising would make a better title.
It is a synonym, I guess, right?
Talk of the movie Deep Rising from our jet ski thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that because I kept making a case for Deep Rising and saying how, man, now I need to watch Deep Rising. And I think that Jupiter Ascending just turned into Jupiter Rising to me.
I've been calling it Jupiter Rising.
Sorry, but so a year ago, Mark really wanted to do Jupiter Ascending, and I didn't get around to it in theaters. I don't think I was. I kind of wanted to see it, but I kind of didn't want to see it. It just looked like a weird adult fever dream of cartoon sci-fi ideas, and I just didn't get around to it. And then eventually I saw it, and I liked it. And then just in the last couple weeks, I had Fifth Element on the mind, and I realized both of these are some really grandiose scale, kind of epic saga scale, kind of bonkers sci-fi movies. And I just threw out the idea of doing them both together, and Mark seemed to love the idea, and we both love these movies in their own weird ways. So let's just start it with the movie that first came to mind, with Jupiter Ascending.
And it makes sense, though, with these two movies, because they're both made by visionary directors Luc Besson and the Wachowskis. And they're both original properties. They're both incredibly loud, incredibly expensive, kind of weird, long-ish, 2+ hours each. They're just like full of tons of side characters. Like they both kind of blend together, except one is becoming like a favorite, like a cult big time. Well, a cult. No, is Fifth Element a cult classic or just really popular?
I'm going to call Fifth Element a cult classic.
Jupiter Ascending is just going to.
It's not a cult classic.
No, I think in 3 years someone's go, "Hey man, Jupiter Ascending," and you're gonna go, "Oh yeah," that's what Jupiter Ascending is. Whereas you go Fifth Element and people go, they look at you like in your secret club. They go, "Bro."
Well, it's not even that secret because look, nobody is cosplaying at Comic-Cons. No one is cosplaying Jupiter Ascending stuff, and if they are, no one around them knows that it's a Jupiter Ascending cosplay. But you can't go a year of Comic-Con without seeing pictures of a Leeloo Dallas going around.
Yeah, I was just in Pittsburgh and there was 5 of them.
Whether it's the thermal bandages cosplay or the orange overalls with the multi-pass cosplay.
There's always a guy doing the Leeloo, and it's always uncomfortable. You know what I mean? There's always a guy doing Leeloo, and it's just always uncomfortable. I'm just like, oh.
Well, and it's just this character gets so much love, and that movie is from 1997. It's 19 years old now, and we still see cosplays every year for it. It's not quite Leia prominence, but the movie is also only half as old as Star Wars.
Stalin's balls.
Stalin's balls. Well, sorry. So Jupiter Ascending. This movie is.
So, can I say something real quick, guys?
You say something quick or fat or
I
slow.
am not your damn mother.
Hey, now I remember where that was from.
That's the tagline. That's the final, that's like her. It's like, get away from her, you bitch. Back. The biggest line in this movie that Mila Kunis has is, get away from, both Mila Kunis and Mila Jovovich. Get away. Yeah. I'm not your damn mother.
But the reason that it threw me off, Mark, is who do you normally tell a story about in the beginning of a podcast episode?
Tom Hanks?
Well, Kurt Russell. So I was trying to think of when I was seriously sitting there thinking, when did Kurt Russell say that?
Oh, man, I wish I could copy Eddie Redmayne from Jupiter Ascending. You are going to... Wait, you got to whisper it. And then...
It's like a mix between he screamed his voice out at a Journey concert last night and fighting tuberculosis.
Yes, brother. And I hate how everyone calls each other brother and sister in this movie. Yes, brother. Hey, John, do you ever call your sister, hey, sister?
No. Even though she's my sister.
Like cults and communes do that a lot.
Brother. Like Vikings and cult and commune. Brother!
I mean...
I guess
it's been a while since I called my dad father. Father! Even though that's more appropriate. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I just want to say something. I've been, reading about this. I listened to the How Did This Get Made podcast about this movie again, just to kind of get a refresher. I watched the movie again. No one picked up on this. Sean Bean plays a guy called Stinger, who's half man, half bee. But Sean Bean. Bean? Bee?
Like human being?
Yeah. Well, he's like, I don't know. I want to spell it Beean now. Because he's, I don't know. It's a stretch.
Bee'n.
Yeah, Bean. But I don't know. Like he's a half bee man.
There's a lot of half things that don't make sense in this movie.
Hey, I think I can summarize this movie.
Okay.
So 3 siblings, immortal siblings, who are at least 14, at least I think maybe at the most 17,000 years old. There's 3 of them. Their mother passed away, who was 90,000 years, and their mother left them a funky will. Now the 3 siblings are fighting over Earth because if you harvest 100 people, they can get their ages back in a nice jacuzzi. Now they find out that Jupiter is like a reincarnated exact replica of their mother, and if she's alive, then Earth is hers. So these 3 siblings scheme each other so that they can kill her so they can get Earth.
I mean, really, this is just a subtle way of telling you to get your estate affairs in order. And if you're going to have a trust for your will, be detailed.
Yeah.
because your offspring will fight about it when the second genetic intergalactic you clone comes along to claim your own estate that you willed to yourself, but that's yours because you're still you because you have the same genetic code.
Sheesh.
But then they'll want to marry you so that they'll share that. Well, see, it gets very dodgy. It's like a telenovela about wealth exchange.
Okay, this sums up the movie perfectly. There's a scene where Mila is talking to one of the Abraxas twins, the woman, and the woman goes, "I am 14 millennial, whatever." And then Mila goes, Jupiter goes, "You're 14,000 years old?" Like, this is one of those movies where, like, you have to dumb down 14 millennia to say 14,000, just in case people in the theater are going, "I don't know how old that is." or instead of Southern, like, some guy, like, is going, "What?"
So if I was going to summarize this movie, I'd just make it a math equation with movie titles, and I'd put Star Wars plus Dune plus The Matrix plus The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy plus Battlefield Earth equals Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a hodgepodge of everything that we've seen before.
So let me tell you what IMDb says. And I read this, and while I understand that it's true, I totally think it is not a proper representation of this movie. I don't know what would be, mind you, but it says a young woman discovers her destiny as an heiress of intergalactic nobility and must fight to protect the inhabitants of Earth from an ancient and destructive industry.
I mean, I guess the industry is harvesting people.
That, if you took out the word intergalactic, I'd think it was about the woman who first unionized American labor forces.
It should have been called Union. It should have been called intergalactic roller skating.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, so the Wachowskis made this as a follow-up to The Matrix, thinking they were going to make their next, like, trilogy epic sci-fi fantasy saga, right? This was supposed to be a part 1.
Yeah, it was 600 pages.
Ooh,
so
man.
This was supposed to be even bigger than the mishmash of ideas that we saw sardined into this insane like drug-induced fever dream of a movie.
Like in 2 hours, right? We get 8 air battles, 1 wedding, 3 rescues, 80 outfit changes, egg selling, lizard henchmen with leather jackets, TV purchases, 3 dinners, bureaucracy, bounty hunters, double crosses, imprisonment, space orgies, bee attacks, toilet cleaning, almost space death, roller skating, expository dialogue time 8th, wind growth, and like a lot more. Oh, and large smart water bottles that Jennifer Aniston would love.
And dogmen and beat men and lizard men.
And women who love dogs.
Oh, God. But I mean, this movie, so I mean, yes, it's an original product, right? It's one of those things that borrows from 89 things, but it doesn't necessarily copy anything, I guess would be a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And I appreciated it. I'm very entertained by it. I actually saw it twice in the last week. And
listen,
you know,
I love this movie.
When I first saw this, though, I kind of didn't like it. Like, it was a lightsaber, a warrior's poem, and a robotic squid away from being tolerable because my expectations were very high, very high. Because I heard a lot of cool things about it. I'm thinking, all right, fine, we'll watch this. And I was watching it with a very serious mindset. And it was just one eye roll after another to the point that I got nauseated. And then I watched it again just last week, and actually twice last week. And I loved it both times because now I know what this is and I can really appreciate it for what it is. And it was really like watching it brand new to me.
Yeah, I just... For me, I feel like this is this movie should get a participation medal because it's fun. It's a new story. Like, it's stupid. But I mean, much like Fifth Element, this movie cost $175 million. Holy crap. With roller skating. And, but if you watch this movie, like, there's background characters that have some of the most intricate makeup you've ever seen. I mean, the wardrobe in this movie is amazing. Like, all of, like, Mila's dresses, like, this movie, like, what I like the most is you see every cent on the screen.
That's fair. Yeah. A lot clearly there was something strange though about this movie. This movie is only a year old, right? And a lot of the scenes that had a strong CGI background, like when they're fighting and racing through the city, but the action is focused on the people who are fighting each other. The back or like spaceship fights, when you see the background, the CGI looks a decade old, dated. The background CGI looks horrible. Now, when it's just showing you like the cityscape in CGI Futureland, it looks cool. But again, when the focus is on the spaceships, when the focus is on Channing Tatum inline propulsion skating through the air, the background CGI looks horrible, which is interesting to me because the CGI elsewhere in the movie is usually very much on point.
Laz, I remember you watched this. We were talking about this movie a year ago too. What'd you think about this thing?
I think I can sum up my feelings about this movie in one scene. There's this one scene I remember where they were just waiting in line at like the space DMV.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy DMV remake scene.
Yeah. I get that it was supposed to be like a humorous scene, but the thing is, I really felt like I was watching someone waiting in line at the DMV. I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I really do not care about this movie right now. I'm just not really feeling this movie. You know, I think, I mean, obviously I don't like the movie, but I think what really irritates me about this movie is that I feel like this movie came close to being really, really good. Like, I can see that the world the Wachowskis wanted to make, it just felt like they were a little off. You know, it just, you know, when a movie just doesn't feel right, like, it just, like, yeah, you know, but...
That was my first viewing reaction.
Yeah.
See, I do feel like they were really off, but I love that they took a swing and just whiffed.
Oh, yeah.
They swung the bat so hard that the bat flew out of their hands.
Yeah.
Went into the right stadium bleachers, hit the soda vendor. His soda hit the entire crowd.
we've got all these great ideas that harken back to like fan favorites. Again, Star Wars, Dune, The Matrix, Hitchhiker's Guide, all these things, right? And they're paying the ideas good conceptual homage, but the execution is done with such cartoonishly zany delivery.
Yeah.
And again, I first viewing, I reacted a lot like Lazabeth. Second and third viewing, both in the last week, though, when I knew what I was getting into, I really just embraced and appreciated that delivery, that lunacy, if you will.
I guess on my review, I said it was a visual cornucopia full of gobbledygook. Like, it is. And I don't understand why Channing Tatum's a dog.
Well, that way, because he's like a servant caste, right? A genetically designed soldier that's like basically a servant caste to these wealthy people. He knows that it's not his destiny to be with one of them. So when she says that she loves him, he says, "I'm really 95% dog. I'm barely even human." I love dogs.
I was like, what? And then also, Mila's the weirdest character in this movie. So like, she wants to sell her eggs so she can like buy. She's gonna give. So her cousin wants her to sell her eggs, so they can get $15,000, and she has to give 10,000 of it to him, and she only gets to keep 5.
That is so like twistedly manipulative, and then it upsets me that they're on such good terms at the end of the movie.
Yeah, and then like then she gets kidnapped, and she's like, "Oh hey, I'm in space," right? And then she goes and she meets this woman who goes from like old to young. And bees like roll around her because she's the queen, and bees like queens because bees respond to her, and she's like, cool. And then she gets kidnapped and is forced to marry a dude, and he's like, hey, marry me, but then he's gonna kill her so he can take Earth. And she's like, you know what, sure. And then she goes to another place, and she meets like big lizard henchman and Eddie Redmayne overacting, and she's like, I'm down with this. And then she kicks him in the balls. And then she tells him he's not his mother. And then she just goes back like nonplussed the entire time.
So, yeah.
But I like Mila, though. But I thought she was really good in like Black Swan and Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And she didn't show any of that here.
I'm actually a little curious about her mother. Why wasn't her mother just a professor in America?
Yeah. Well,
because it's not like an MD where it's not honored sometimes overseas because of different medical boards and requirements. She had a PhD. She was a mathematician and a college professor in a country that was known for good quantitative sciences. So she probably had a good publication record on her resume as well in journal articles. So like, why didn't she just she could have supported the whole damn family with a humble professor salary?
Because that wouldn't have fit the plot.
I guess not. Like,
and they also took like a tanker over. I don't know, but
unless they're still illegal at that point, like 30 years later.
Yeah, and I don't understand. So basically, Maximilian Jones and so basically this man from Agent Carter and the woman from Orphan Black, they have a baby. And it's Jupiter. But then one day these criminals run in and steal everything from him, grab the man's telescope. He goes, not my telescope. And then they shoot him in the gut. And then you never hear from them again. So then Jupiter moves to America where her aunt and her mom, they work as maids, cleaning toilets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she's not married because she tells the Wolfman that she falls for guys that don't fall for her.
Which explains why she likes someone who's 95%, as he says anyway, dog.
And then that was kind of a weird scene, though, where she got her military. When she was getting her eggs taken out. Her blue dress, aren't they supposed to be like, they're not supposed to be tied up all the way around, right?
No, they're not. I think
so. Like, so like she. Yeah, but like, imagine how stupid that would have been had it like her like had it been that half, and then they froze the screen.
What's interesting to me is that those little invisible goblins looked like shorter, uglier versions of the 1994 Arrival aliens.
And they're really good at shooting Channing Tatum's shield.
Why is it that they had laser rings? They could shoot lasers from their rings, and then they just jumped on them like a rabid spider monkey.
Oh, I thought they were shooting it from their hands.
whatever they were shooting, they had the ability to shoot lasers, and they abandoned that to jump on him like a spider monkey.
This goes back to our Henchman podcast, where you just stand 20 feet away from the dude. You line up in a straight line. You don't go around in a circle so you kill each other. Straight line and just blast them.
Wait, but then after they're done, right, you have to assume they fixed, how they affected the people there and the damage. And then later in the movie, they destroy like a whole city and they're like, oh, it's probably already rebuilt. They're Men in Black neuralizing the whole city, basically, to rebuild it. They're Men in Blacking it. Yeah.
They're Men in Blacking it.
I mean, again, like a lot of borrowed ideas that aren't horrible ripoffs. Like it's interesting when I notice all these little things. But so the harvest, though. So they seed these planets with human genetics, right? So that humans evolve on the planet and grow and flourish on all these planets that they own like cattle, right? So that they can then harvest them to create little petroleum jelly goo that's like 100 people to a pint canister or a quart canister, and then take baths in it. And then take baths in it. Yeah, it looks like that. What is that? That $4 Voss bottle.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
like the secret of the ooze, but it's clear. So, but they do that, right? And there's this scene at the beginning where one of these wealthy dignitaries who owns lots of properties, i.e. planets filled with people, says, well, it's to my understanding that the harvest is quite painless and that they don't even feel anything. And it just made me think of like how some people are so naive to the processes that, that animals endure, or that our working class endure, almost like just totally clueless and blasé. Like, they don't even feel anything. It's totally harmless and humane when we liquefy them into rejuvenating goo.
And like, how do they catch this goo?
I don't know. Because there's that scene.
Do they just vacuum everybody up like a meter maid from Spaceballs?
Remember when they teleport onto the planet immediately post-harvest, and it looks like all living things have been reduced to blue dust? Well, Eddie Redmayne is walking around talking like this. He's whispering. By the way, Eddie Redmayne, why did your hands look like you had James Coburn 90-year-old extremely advanced arthritis?
I think he just loved, I think he got it. I think Eddie Redmayne was like, crap.
His fingers were all aiming in different directions.
I did write that. He held his hands really weird. I think he just went for it. I think he was just like, this movie sucks. I'm going to act like an idiot. I think he was on board. But he was in a different movie, though, from C-Tate and Mila Kunis.
When he was holding his arms out, his hand would look really weighed down, like the rings weighed 20 pounds.
He was like the guy from Scary Movie 2 with the bad hand.
And then later in the movie, he goes from, being totally, over-garbed, right? In those, I don't know what to call them, robe trench coat things that he's wearing. And then later he has this bare-chested thing, and he was like Ra from Stargate with his planetary ruling whatever youth goo. This was just, this was all sorts of bonkers in all ways that made me smile.
And then there's
Eddie Redmayne.
Sean expository dialogue being in there.
Yeah, that's true. They explained a lot as if they had never said it before.
Yeah, Sean Bean was looking at this dialogue like, shit.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sure that's not the first time he's looked at a script and went, shit.
Yeah, clean skin.
Yeah. All right, guys. We have to take a break real quick. Hopefully, Sean Bean will react positively to our break. I don't know. I feel like he's the kind of guy who just we
were worried he was going to hear this and kick our ass.
Who knows? Sean Bean's kind of unpredictable, unlike that Mila Jovovich.
Oh, brother.
All right, guys. We'll be right back.
Hey, podcast fans. I'm Jonathan, and I'm here to talk to you about an exciting new podcast called Top 5. It's brought to you by Shark Dropper. Can you think of anything and everything that you wanted counted down, anywhere from shitty cereals to worst bands ever to top 5 athletes, maybe even the top 5 movies. Well, guess what? We counted down from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 6. No, I'm just kidding. We counted down to 1 every time, every week. Shark Dropper Studios, sharkdropper.com.
Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. So we were actually having a spirited discussion on the proper pronunciation of LaCroix? Or LaCroix? LaCroix?
I thought it was LaCroix.
LaCroix. I used to call it LaCroix.
Yeah.
LaCroix?
Yeah.
So it...
Je ne sais quoi?
I've never had it, but it's just water, right? Like it's water.
It's tasty water, but it's
The
good.
official water of Gerard Depardieu.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting? I have some friends that are sober now. They're former, like, you know, they used to drink a lot and everything like that, and they drink a ton of it because I guess like the bubbles and everything, like it's kind of like
It's got the briskness that it seems like you're drinking soda, but without the caffeine.
yeah, it's something like in their it's like something in their hands. But I like it. Like get a Costco membership. Costco sponsor us. And,
A lot of people used to swear up and down that I had to be addicted to caffeine. And then I'd go like sometimes a week without it when I go on a family vacation or something. And then they'd say, well, you're addicted to soda. And I'm like, again, sometimes I go like a week without it or something. And I've started buying this instead of soda. I almost never drink soda anymore. It's the carbonated briskness or something that I love. I can't explain it.
You know what's weird is that it was like this hipster kind of trend. Maybe I'm generalizing too much, but it was like this hipster trend that just came out of nowhere. I'm just like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Like canned water? Like what's going on here? Like
I
don't know.
think it's heavenly.
yeah,
So brisk.
I'm a fan.
Are you? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna buy like a 6-pack this weekend and just and like shotgun a couple cans. I'll get back to you.
I like the lime ones. The lime or
Yeah.
grapefruit's pretty good. Don't do coconut. It tastes like suntan lotion.
Wow.
I've tried the coconut. Yeah, I can't do it. I thought maybe it would go well with rum. It just tastes like sins and sorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll shotgun a couple cans of LaCroix.
LaCroix, if any of your employees are listening, LaCroix, we are accepting sponsorships.
That's right.
Sure.
One of these days.
Okay, enough sparkling water talk for today. Mark, I think you have another listener question for us.
Yeah, and this one is from John. From I was working at a Comic-Con, and he asked me this question this past weekend. And he asked, if you were an intergalactic space hero, what would be your signature weapon and vehicle?
Lazavath.
You know,
I think I know your vehicle.
It sucks. This question sucks because Silver Surfer just like totally stole my answer. Like, why wouldn't it be a surfboard? Why wouldn't you just surf through space like on a giant silver surfboard?
That'd be awesome. I'm just not coordinated enough. I'd have to paddleboard it.
Yeah. But since I can't do a surfboard, I'd probably go with like rollerblades.
See, we never even talked about the roller skates.
Yeah.
You know what though? Those Channing Tatum's rollerblades sucked because he could use them to fly, right? But when he got launched out the space hatch, he couldn't use them for propulsion to get to the other suits with their oxygen packs.
You know what's funny? Like, it was my second. It wasn't my original idea. My original idea, or my original answer, was my superpower was that I would be able to generate like these giant space monkey bars, and that's how I would travel throughout space.
What do you mean you generate them?
I would just automatically be able to create like a giant set of monkey bars.
Do you mean like the Green
Space.
Lantern or like Psylocke?
It doesn't matter, but I'm just like I would just be like making my way through space, just like on monkey bars.
You'd be swinging all over the place.
Yeah, I thought that'd be funny, but I'm just like, you know what? I don't have the upper body strength for that.
What about your weapon?
My weapon.
Also the monkey bars.
You know, I didn't even consider what my weapon would be. I was just so focused on what my.
I like the monkey bars. You could use that to belt somebody.
That's true. I could play like a game of Space Chicken with somebody. Yeah.
Like I'm on a ship, right? And I just see you flying by on monkey bars.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be going so fast. Like, was that a shooting star?
Like you'd be like a jumper monkey bar.
Yeah.
If you can just manifest the monkey bars at will, you could manifest them around somebody like they're trapped in the monkey bars.
I think I want to see this movie about this character who can generate space monkey bars.
It's basically a really uncreative Green Lantern. Where instead of creating whatever he wants, he can only make monkey bars.
Might make a better movie. You never know.
That's right. I mean, it was better than the first Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Oof.
What if you built a bar out of monkey bars?
Huh.
I don't know about hanging upside down and drinking beer. That's for kids. I can't do that.
You could just hang from one arm. Or I used to sit on top of the monkey bars.
That's okay. Yeah, that's cool.
You were one of those kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was one of those guys.
Just
what
too
about
cool.
you?
Just too cool for school.
Too cool for the monkey bars.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got, Lev?
All right, so my weapons are the Predator shoulder gun, his like digital like computer mask, and his computer bracer with the retractable claw. Like basically the Predator getup. He had a really, really cool set of equipment, including his like ultraviolet vision, his infrared vision, his sound mimicking and recognize. Like he had some cool stuff, right? And I'm going to cruise around to your planet in the Flight of the Navigator spaceship. Remember the Flight of the Navigator?
You got a lot of little creatures in there?
Yes, exactly. It had that awesome zoo of alien refugee animals. It was basically like a rescue animal farm. But like when he's telling the stories, he's like, he was actually the king of his planet, and they got taken over by Zorgs or some monster name.
Oh,
Like-
I hate Zorgs.
Well, not Zorg. I'm thinking of
No, I'm joking.
like, but like it's. And then when I'm on the planet, I'll pull out in my Batman tumbler vehicle. And then, when I cruise around, I find you and I've hunted you down. You're like crawling because I almost like ran you over with my tumbler. That's when I come out and I emerge from the DeLorean doors on the side with my Predator mask and my little shoulder laser blaster thing that put a hole in Jesse Ventura.
Nice. This guy's like, so he's like an intergalactic dog. Meets Steve Irwin from
It's like Dog Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, meets the guy from the Steve Irwin, right? The crocodile guy.
Yeah.
So you're just hunting down and recapturing animals?
But like that's just such a cool technological setup between the tumbler, the Flight of the Navigator vehicle, and the Predator getup.
I mean, you're ready to go. As soon as you land, like big wheels, you need that on Earth and Mars and all those planets.
That's right, man. Half my stuff is from the 80s. The other half of the stuff is from the last decade. I got this.
So I would use Nick Fury's SUV from Captain America Winter Soldier.
Oh, my God. That's actually even tougher than my tumbler. I didn't even think of that.
Because that thing flies, too. There's that scene where he's like, fly. And it's like, well, I'm kind of damaged. But so mine would be like through space. It'd be like the Winnebago in Spaceballs, but like a flying tumbler.
But it can get shot 80,000 times.
Yeah, if like the Death Star shoots at me, I would just kind of fly away. It wouldn't die. It would just shoot 3 galaxies away.
You wouldn't even speed away. You just idle.
Yeah. I would just nothing could basically blow it up. I could fly. I could land. I could drive. I could listen to Sirius radio. I could nap in the back. I could put the seats down. Plenty of room for groceries. And so I would ride around Nick Fury's SUV. And my weapon, I made this weapon up. And it's called the Obliterator. All right? So let's say I'm walking through a hallway and I got 50 people running at me. I don't want like Daredevil's bow staffs. I don't want size. I don't want claws. I want something like your cannon. But this Obliterator, what it does is, like, if you've seen Hot Shots Part 2, there's that gun, that big gun that Charlie Sheen, or one of the characters shoots one of the other troopers and the guy splats against the wall. And then the guy goes, that's a hell of a gun. But this gun, the Obliterator, when I shoot somebody, people just explode. So blood, guts, everything in the hallway just flies everywhere. I know this sounds gross, but if you're a henchman named Earl, right? And your buddy Hank.
Wait, not Steve?
Yeah, no, and your buddy Hank and Steve get hit by obliterators and they just explode blood and guts and their costumes all over the hallway. Like, Earl's going to be like, That's the obliterator. Like, it's just, I want a weapon that just obliterates. Like, it doesn't atomize. It doesn't like make people disappear. It just makes everything explode.
Like that effect, other than when Dr. Manhattan did it in what the hell is that movie? The Watchmen, because he basically, willed people to explode into goo. But your weapon, it really came, in my opinion, from very late 80s to early 90s video era sci horror movies.
Yeah, like exactly. But like, nothing gets there's no goo. Like there's no juice. Like there's no like, they don't disintegrate. Their body, everything in their body just explodes. And like there's this bloods and guts and bones all over. This is gross. But imagine attacking a place with the obliterator and just lighting up henchmen. And like they would get demoralized by the time the fifth dude is like the janitors would hate me. Like janitors would go on strike. If they knew I was attacking the Death Star, the janitors would be like, I quit.
Dude, they would unionize, drive up the salary prices, and bankrupt the empire.
Because the obliterator just explodes people.
It would be like the situation with the Long Island PD, which is like at risk of bankrupting the municipality.
Yeah, it's right. Because these janitors are just like, listen, you got to stop messing with this guy. He flies in here. We can't destroy his car. Then he drives in and just blows up like 1,700 stormtroopers. And guess who has to clean it? Us. Like, if like I shot the Rain Corps, you'd be cleaning it up for like 3 weeks.
Oh dear.
You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like it just obliterates people.
But hey, if I was in House of Braxis, though, I'd say, I heard that the obliterator is actually quite humane and they feel nothing. It's true. When we designed it.
I mean, I guess you wouldn't feel anything if you exploded immediately.
No, of course not. It's nothing. Your pain receptors are across the room.
But, so like this is gonna sound terrible, but like your pain receptors were across the room. Like in Cabin in the Woods when all those guards get lit up and there's all that blood everywhere.
Yeah,
like that's what it would look like, and that's what like it actually would look like. That's a little over the top, but that's what it would. Like it would like buildings would be. Everyone would hate it.
Really, those visions of hell from the Event Horizon, that was like right after someone used the obliterator.
Oh,
like where the walls are just caked with like body stuff. Yep. Like
the stormtroopers would pull a Monty Python, the Holy Grail, run away, run away. and I have a strict. If you're running away from me, I won't obliterate you.
Well, you don't obliterate someone in the back. That's
exactly. So like.
You get a reputation for that shit. Exactly.
And like, even if like people come at me, like, let's say there's like a thick-skinned Jim, right? Bullets don't pierce him. He's like this big guy, burly dude. He's from the South. He's kind of a jerk and people can't cut him. They can't scratch him. If the obliterator hits him, he's going to obliterate.
Thick-skinned Jim. Where did that come from?
I don't know. That just came from my head there.
Like, that feels like a legit thing that came from some kind of, like, Frank Miller world or something. Because that's what Mickey Rourke makes me think of in Sin City. Like, he looks like a thick-skinned Jim.
If he got hit by the obliterator, he would be all over the place.
Like, you could shoot him in the forehead, and it just looks more like a deep scratch and dry skin than it does a wound.
Yeah, he would get obliterated.
So, guys, what would you say is the final answer? I don't even remember what the question was.
Jim.
There you go. I don't even remember what the question was.
Thick-skinned Jim.
Thick-skinned
Jim. And you don't obliterate in the back.
But, like, thick-skinned Jim, he kind of walks up. He's like, you can't blow me up. Then he just gets obliterated.
Yeah. All right. So, thick-skinned Jim. Thank you for the wonderful listener question. Whatever it was. I don't even remember. Hopefully the answer kind of comes close to what you were looking for. But yeah, love you good. I think let's continue with the topic.
That was a long talk about the obliterator.
That was a really good question though. That's like that is not our regular, ilk for listener question content.
And we got some pretty good. We have the monkey bars. Then we have you patrolling around the world, rescuing animals in the tumbler, blowing people up with your rocket launcher. And then the Obliterator, John Thickskin Jim. He's real sensitive, though. He doesn't have like the. He has like the literal thick skin, not the metaphorical.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's a sensitive guy, but trust me.
That's what happens when nothing can hurt you. Only words can.
Yeah.
They didn't realize that when they made Thick Skin Jim so big, they also made his heart bigger too. People don't understand that poor guy. All right. Well, continuing with our epic saga bonkers sci-fi tastic podcast, we're going to move on to the fifth element, which actually takes us back 19 years to a movie that I have loved for the entirety of its existence. I can always watch this movie. I watched this 3 days ago. I could watch it again after this podcast and just be thrilled to be watching it. This is another movie where IMDb cannot in one sentence possibly convey what this movie is about. It says, in the distant future, an ex-military cab driver unwittingly becomes a key figure in the legendary cosmic weapon to keep evil from ending. Oh, no, just to stop evil. And then I added from ending all life in the universe. But this movie was really strange. I mean, awesome. I love this movie. It's got a much more properly executed story than Jupiter Ascending.
I mean, it's, the writer-director Luc Besson started writing it when he was 16, which is kind of interesting. But, I mean, it came, they did it over a lot of time. But, I mean, I kind of love that. Like, it's very, I don't know. I love it. That was a weird tangent. I'm still thinking about Thick Skin Jim.
By the way, this goes back in 2011. We wrote our Desert Island movie posts.
Oh, yeah.
And this was one of my Desert Island movies.
I mean, and at the time, this was the most expensive international movie ever made. It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
I mean, I guess when you see the movie, I'm not necessarily surprised, but I never knew that, nor did I ever think that, I guess.
And this can also sound weird with the budget, but Jean-Paul Gaultier, the designer, he made over 900 costumes for this film.
Wow,
Jesus.
900. They just did like a art introspection for him, and like he did. Prince was originally supposed to be in this movie, not Chris Tucker, and there are 900. The costumes in this movie are amazing, and this guy Gaultier, he did 900 costumes. He handpicked all 900 costumes.
It's nuts. And the characters that fill the costumes, like all of them. Like, I remember things, and it's not. Granted, I've seen this movie a lot of times, but I remember things about every character, and every character that has lines feels like a substantial, interesting character. Like if Luc Besson is an artist, bonkers characters fill his palette with colors. They are nuts.
Like there's that scene where I know we're jumping ahead, but there's this scene with these two monsters. They're disguised as humans, and they're trying to get on this plane so that they can get these rocks. Blah blah blah. But the two characters, the man who's like kind of turning into the alien, and then the woman next to him, she has a shaved head. Like,
who's a famous model at the time.
Yeah, and they're like, she's really good, and she's on screen for 30. She's a good 60-second character. But hey, listen to that podcast. But like, they're really good and memorable. Like there's so many little side characters in here that are fleshed out in like 30 seconds.
And then there was even the other imposter that was actually human working for Zorg, who then went up by himself to say, "No, that's impossible. I'm Corbin Dallas." Like, even he mattered when he went up, and then he got mad, and then like it sent up like the guns on him, like he was a terrorist. Remember?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. And then I love it. But this Lazarus. Well, I don't know if this happened. When was the last time you watched it?
Actually, a day ago. today.
Or before that?
Probably like 2 or 3 years.
Did you remember a lot of it? Because I hadn't watched it in many years. It was a completely different movie than what I remembered.
So when I first watched it, it was way back in the day. I think I was back in middle school or something. Like, what kind of drew me to the movie, and also a lot of people, was like how kind of futuristic, like it looked, like how good it looked. Like that was the big draw of the movie. Like over the years, like you've had like a lot of other movies like do like really good futuristic visions, like and it just kind of it's lost a little bit of its luster in that regard. But like, I think it still holds up in kind of a crazy, in that it's like super crazy, it's super goofy, like it's kind of featureness doesn't really it's lost a little bit of its luster, but it's still a fun movie to watch, you know. Like for me, like back in the day, Fifth Element, like I thought it was like, oh man, that really awesome, like just cool looking movie, you know. You know what I'm talking about?
No, absolutely. And you know what's kind of weird? I hadn't seen it in so long. I thought that Mila Jovovich did a lot more fighting in it. So in my head, I had all these scenes in my.
I'm right there with you.
I had all these scenes in my brain where, like, she was part of every action scene, and then she kind of disappears at the end because she gets shot. And then Bruce Willis does all the heavy lifting, and I totally forgot about that. I thought she was a part of all those gunfights.
Yeah, well, I mean,
what's interesting about that? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Good.
So that scene, though, like her one fighting scene, like that scene had something very special about it because it was initiated with the Divas concert, which was a really cool musical piece to the soundtrack with a really cool character, that weird alien woman diva, delivering it, right?
Yeah.
And she, in singing it, was scoring the punctuated action in her fight scene. So it made her fight scene a lot more like engaging and special, even though there was nothing technically wowing. Like, this is not like when we talk about The Raid or anything. It's like, she didn't train to do this fight scene. Like, it's like you just see her fist hit someone in the face and you see her wind up and they're two different cuts. But the thing is that because it was punctuated with the high notes of the Divas song, it was just so, I don't know, it had an energy to it that was very
fun.
special.
She was like smiling and it was cheeky. And also,
the
director also, they met on this movie and then he was married. Then he left his wife for Mila.
Don't blame him there. Sorry. Sorry to his wife. She's the Fifth Element. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Lazarus, what were you going to say before I went on my diva tangent?
You know, I don't even remember. It was something about like her one fighting scene. I think you kind of touched on it, but it was like, yeah, she, even in like her one fighting scene, she didn't really do much. Like, it wasn't like a terribly involved fighting scene.
Yeah. So,
and then, like, but I guess going back to one thing, all the side characters, like there's a little Aziz with the light. He kept messing up the light.
Aziz lights.
There's that desk monster that Gary Oldman spits a cherry on, then later on he's hugging up on, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the little cockroach spy. And then there's the thing that they had flamethrowers and they were killing little tribbles. Oh, like with stuff.
Weird. It's Tiny Zeus Lister is the intergalactic president.
Yeah, and then there's a guy who gets punched in the nose. That's really memorable. Also, I really like the scenes where Mila Jovovich is learning. She's watching TV, just having fun eating chicken. And it was so much better than the scenes in X-Men Apocalypse, where Apocalypse puts his hand on the TV and he goes, learning.
But, by the way, also, Lilu learned by uploading basically from the internet 2 years before Neo did.
Ooh.
Yeah, Leo uploaded all that. And by the way, Lilu uploaded Kung Fu and suddenly could fight, just like Neo did.
That's right. And I also love that, the Wachowski, nice Wachowski Jupiter Rising. And also Chris Tucker brings like his super A game in that. He went for it.
You know what? And you brought up and you sent me the article about how Prince was originally supposed to play that character. And as awesome and interesting as Prince is, do you think that Prince could have done a better job than Chris Tucker?
Nah.
No, I don't either.
Tuck owned it.
Yeah.
It makes me miss him.
Yeah. So, hold on. I wanted to ask you guys this question. And maybe you guys know the answer, and I'm just, like, really stupid, and I wasn't paying attention at all. But, like, watching a movie, like, yesterday, it made me realize, like, wait, why was Gary Oldman's character, Jean-Baptiste Zorg, why was he working for the bad guy? Because wouldn't he have gotten killed by that big evil thing too?
Well, no, hold on. Like, so they didn't go into detail, but so Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg is some kind of rich villainous mogul, and he clearly had some kind of a deal. Whether he had a cultish interest, like a religious interest, or some kind of financial interest or deal, they don't go into it. But they clearly had some kind of a negotiation that was not revealed in the cut.
Because I was just thinking about it, like, when I saw it, like, a day ago, I'm like, wait a minute. Why is he working for, why is he trying to get, like, Earth destroyed? Like, it doesn't...
Right, because Mr. Shadow is supposed to end all life.
Yeah, which includes him, right? Like,
right, presumably everyone and thing.
I don't know why it's something I never thought of before. Like, wait a minute. Why is he doing that? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, it's never explained. Because even if he flew away on, like, another spaceship...
Yeah.
Like, where's he going to go? It wrecks everything he built on Earth.
Yeah.
No, but don't forget, we're hopping planets, though. We're, like, because... originally there was Egypt, there was Earth. Then they go to the Fhloston Paradise, which is another planet in a different solar system. This is like all life in the universe will be wiped out.
Yeah. So, is he just going to be like chilling?
Well, maybe there was some like apocalypse subplot of, and from the ashes only the strong will continue to rebuild, and maybe Oldman thought that he'd be one of those.
I guess to be fair, Luc Besson, like Mark mentioned, or was it Lovingood, like he did write this screenplay when he was like a teenager, so maybe.
Well, there just might have been stuff that didn't make it into the movie. It was still a 2-hour movie, and there's a lot going on.
It's a pretty crazy movie if you actually take the time to think about it. I'm just like, there's a lot of things going on.
You know what's funny though, Lazareth? I never even thought about that with Gary Oldman. I just liked his performance.
No, yeah, like it's a good performance.
Never once did I go, why is he working for him? I just loved Gary Oldman in it. That's weird.
What's funny is that someone on Reddit brought up that that as a villain, he had like the worst plan ever. Because more than one time, like he sends people to get the stones in the box. He doesn't like tell them to make sure that the stones are there. He's just like, get the box. And then later he gets the box with the stones, doesn't check to see that the stones are even in the box after he's had this happen to him before when he leaves the Fhloston Paradise cruise ship. It would have taken him 3 seconds flat to open that box and see that there weren't stones in there.
Yeah,
he's just so good. I think I never noticed.
Yeah,
Gary Oldman is so good, but Zorg is terrible at being a villain.
I think Luc Besson likes blowing up Gary Oldman though, because he blew him up in The Professional, and then he blew him up in this movie.
Right. And he tried to blow up Lilu, which is the only time that he encountered Lilu or Corbin.
Yeah, he never even met Corbin, right?
Our bad guy actually never directly interacts with Corbin and only ever shoots at Lilu for about a minute of film and never talks really directly anything meaningful to either. Not on the phone, not in a message, not in person. Isn't that interesting? It's almost like a trick was played on us. And also, is Corbin not technically a sidekick in this?
No, because he's the one that does all the heavy lifting. Like he at the end, he does the gunfight. He saves Lilu. He takes him to the planet. He realizes that he has to do the thing with her so that she's the other element. So I mean, I don't think he's the sidekick in this movie.
Okay.
And then
oh, go ahead.
Wait, I have another question.
Yeah.
When they go to meet the opera singer, they're like, no military. We only want one man going. Why didn't they send the military?
I don't know.
Probably because it would have been obvious, I guess. It would have kind of telegraphed what was happening.
It would have ruined the opera singing scene.
Yeah, it would have. If I knew darkness was coming and the only way to do it was like, getting these stones and doing some stuff, I might, send everyone. That's a professional quote. But
can we just talk about like it's really funny like how we're just like it seems like we're just now realizing like all these giant these giant plot holes in the movie. But I think that kind of speaks to the greatness of the movie. It's like you either don't realize or you don't really care. Like it's a good movie.
You get carried away in the character's purpose. And I mean, there are other aspects to it too. Like in the end, a lot of people who saw the movie only once, and I'm just making this up, but it's my opinion that I think that this would be the idea of people who saw it only once, would say, oh, well, so the fifth element was really love, and love is what saved everyone. No, love was only necessary because she learned about the fallacy of man, which isn't necessary in being the fifth element, and she lost faith. If she never encountered the internet to learn world history, she wouldn't have lost that faith. We wouldn't have needed love. She would have just stood in the middle of 4 other stones and it would have been done.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the other point of all you needed to do was she may as well have been a stone in terms of function because all you needed to do was put her there. She didn't need to do anything ever to save anybody. But her character was just... I love this character. I mean, I don't just love Mila Jovovich. I love the character. It's so expressive and like, so that kind of just got me carried away with loving the movie, even though in a way it didn't matter if she knew how to fight. It didn't matter. Well, I mean, other than surviving, but like, if they just knew where the stones were when darkness came at the prophesied 5,000-year interval, they would have just put her in the middle of the 4 other stones that they would have already had, and it would have been done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, there didn't need to be all these other things happening. It just so happened and played out that way. It's interesting the way that happened.
And then there's a scene where Bruce Willis, like, he's standing over her. She's kind of unconscious after he first rescues her, and he kisses her. That meant, like, I never thought about that before, but I'm like, here's this woman he doesn't know who's unconscious.
Yeah.
And he kisses her. That's like that, but that goes against his character because his character didn't do anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was clearly, I don't mean infatuated in a creepy way, but he was clearly like smitten by her from the start.
Yeah.
Because remember, he calls when his boss Finger calls the cab owner, it's like a really big fare came along. What kind of big fare? He's like 5'9", big blue eyes. Like he was just taken by her when she did the whole help me thing in the cab when the cops were after her, and he kind of, risked a lot to save her. But now the kiss is an interesting leap, but he was clearly very smitten by her.
He smooched an unconscious woman.
Don't get me wrong. Maybe he saw maybe he saw Sleeping Beauty recently. I don't know.
It's Bruce Willis.
Yeah, and I do like that he treated his cat well. He really liked his cat.
Yeah. Liked his cat. Didn't like his mom so much.
No, and he had a saltwater fish tank.
Yeah,
that's a lot of upkeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he had a small place, though. He didn't have a lot of square footage to take care of.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it is, Brooklyn in the future, right? Or was it Manhattan? It was somewhere in New York. That's about the size of an apartment you get now in present day New York, yeah. I think.
But by the way, did anyone notice that he, in terms of how he played his character personality-wise, how he sounded and everything, he was basically Die Hard in space. Like, he was John McClaning his way through being an ex-military cab driver in space.
He was having a great time, though.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like there's only a few movies where you can... I don't know, maybe I could do this. Like, where you can tell that he loves what he's doing. Like, I feel like Die Hard, this...
Only the first Die Hard.
Yeah, only the first Die Hard. I think he loved being on Unbreakable and Sixth Sense. Moonrise Kingdom, he's very good. Maybe 12 Monkeys, which was Terry Gilliam, who had a cameo in that one. But like,
are you saying he didn't like being on Cop Out?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's books about that. Like, oh no, he's having fun. Like, he has a smile on his face. Like he dug being in this movie.
This movie was pretty crazy, like. I mentioned the soundtrack before too, but like his cab chase scene when he kind of first meets Lilu, that song, it's Cheb Khaled's Electadi is the song, and I think that cab chase scene was electrifying because of that music. And then you had all his lines, like I'm just so irritated by this because I'm John McClane. I don't know. That's not me doing a John McClane voice, but like his frustration, but the way that he was just dealing with it and trudging through, like these. It's not just that scene. All these scenes had so much personality to the scene, and not just a couple of leading characters in them.
And it's also, this movie's just alive, I feel like.
Yes.
It's
exactly.
It's so alive that it didn't make me, I didn't realize the plot holes until now.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it was definitely like a passion project for Luc Besson. And I don't know, sometimes like that just, like passion just trumps like logic.
I think you're right.
Someone wrote something interesting in an article that I read about this movie, by the way. And they wrote, so the diva was going to give them the stones after the concert, but the stones were in her abdomen. How is she going to give them the stones?
And if we know that this huge darkness is coming, why do they have to wait through a concert?
Because she said that she wasn't going to give them the stones until after the concert.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But if they're in her abdomen, and how did they get in her abdomen?
Obviously, she ate them. Right?
Yeah.
Just like squirt a little mustard on there and just.
Like, was she going to be like, okay, guys, it's kind of like when I had a C-section. Let's just cut me open and take these out.
She had some LaCroix.
And you know,
some LaCroix.
I was never clear, like, why did she have them in the first place? Like, weren't with the aliens from the beginning?
Don't forget, when they first mention who the diva is, they say she's a divine being.
Oh.
They actually bring that up. So religion has a direct, I'll call it a knowledge-based existence in this movie. They refer to her as a divine being. They identify that Lilu is speaking the divine language.
So divine or not, though, carrying around 4 rocks in your belly.
I mean, she was very tall. Maybe they weren't very heavy for her.
No.
She was basically a mix between a bright blue xenomorph and Jabba the Hutt's like exotic dancer Twi'lek alien.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And there was a lot of Star Wars-isms. The military ships looked like Star Destroyers. We were defending the universe against darkness, like the dark side, I suppose. Like, again, she looked a little Twi'lek-y. There was a lot of Forcey stuff. I don't know.
Yep, some midi-chlorians.
It was a bit Star Wars-y. It was a tiny bit Galaxy Hitchhiker's Guide-y. It was a tiny bit Total Recall-y. All these things that I love. Again, a lot of things borrowed, but nothing ripped off. Does that make sense? Again?
Exactly. I mean, it's still an original story.
Absolutely.
And I mean, like we said, like with Oblivion and a lot of these movies, they're original, but it's kind of impossible not to borrow nowadays. You put a spaceship in your movie. Oh, you have it like this movie. You have a laser gun. Oh, that's a laser gun. So I know there are very original films that come out, but it's really hard to tell a completely original story.
There's a difference between having similar components and clearly modeling yours after a specific movie. The ships look like Star Destroyers.
Oh, in this movie?
Yes, they specifically looked like Star Destroyers.
Interesting. Well, they didn't do too well blowing up that darkness.
And she was not an original design, that diva. That was clearly like meant to have xenomorph components. It had the tubes coming out of the back and the long head, the long droopy in the back head. Like, whether you call it a Twi'lek, a xenomorph, or both, that was not an original idea that happened to have similarities.
Well, all right, guys. Final verdict on Jupiter Ascending. I almost said Rising. Jupiter Ascending and Fifth Element.
Thick Skin Jim.
Thick skin.
I'd say as long as you go in knowing that it's bonkers and zany, then watch Jupiter Ascending.
Oh yeah,
Jupiter Rising.
So I think the moral of the story here is that like Jupiter Ascending, you notice the plot holes right away. Fifth Element, you don't notice the plot holes till like a decade later, but even then you don't really care. So, take that however you may. All right, guys.
I mean, if someone actually listened to this pod all the way through who didn't see The Fifth Element, go buy it.
Yeah.
Like, just go buy it.
Honestly, even though we discussed it extensively, like, we really didn't spoil it for you. Like, it's such a crazy movie. It's like, it's really like almost impossible to spoil. Really.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It is.
Yeah. It's just like this movie has like this energy that like few movies have. I think that was what was missing from Jupiter Ascending. It just the energy just felt flat. Like Eddie Redmayne's voice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so I like it.
Yeah.
And Channing Tatum took his shirt off in the one movie where he didn't have abs. Like, just leave the shirt on, bro.
Well, he had his shirt off for like 30 minutes.
I know, and this is the only movie where he had no muscle definition whatsoever.
Hey man,
you try playing this role every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, whatever, man. He had his shirt off as much in this as he did in Magic Mike.
All right, guys. Before we sign off, are there any plugs you want to make?
Yeah. So Shark Dropper. Also, first of all, The Lamb. Good, large association of movie blogs. Yeah. But also Shark Dropper, our wonderful hosts. We have a new they have a new podcast, and it's called Lazavath Rolls His Ankle. And it goes every 3 months because you don't want to roll your ankle that much. But it's basically you once every 3 months. You're loaded up. You're in studio, and somehow in the studio you roll your ankle. Mm-hmm. It's just basically you. It's just people waiting for you to roll your ankle.
I mean, there's really
they're following around all the time, like Ed TV.
Yeah, and it's just basically like they put little trampolines underneath leaves. They like really try to make you roll your ankle.
Plus, like, I think I need to up the calcium in my diet. That's I think that's also an issue.
But it's pretty great. The first one, you fell in. Let's see, what happened? Oh, you tried to jump over a fence and you rolled your ankle.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was thinking in that one.
I mean, that was like, but it was good. Like you.
I mean, there was like the build up and everything.
Yeah, and then you talked us through the discoloration. It's a really like the icing. You told us how the icing felt.
Cold.
Yeah.
This one and the ribs pod.
Yes. What's the ribs one?
You told us about that in the Suicide Squad episode, how Laz would just eat ribs and you hear him smacking, describing the taste of the ribs in the middle of the night.
I never eat ribs without barbecue sauce. So you try eating barbecue sauce without smacking your lips.
Laz, you've got a lot of weird
physically impossible.
Buddy.
Well, his third one is him rolling his ankle while buying ribs. And then he had to limp the rest of the way to buy the ribs.
Oof. It's rough.
I'm dedicated, man.
Oh, my goodness.
I just like to give a little thanks to Crash Palace. They give us shout-outs here and there. They're nice folks. But I had heard their Halloween episode where they talk about, among other things, the classic Halloween. And I kind of wrote in how I'm not a huge fan of 1978 Halloween. I just recognize its like importance and impact. And it turns out that neither of those guys in that podcast liked Halloween. So I like wrote into them. I was telling them about that. And I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm from Haddonfield, New Jersey, just like Deborah Hill, the co-writer of it. And so they're like giving a shout out to Haddonfield, New Jersey, and a nod to us, by the way, on Blog Talk Radio, which was sweet of them. But I like their podcast, by the way, guys. And I know they listen to ours every now and then. So thanks to Crash Palace, I guess. They're cool.
Cool.
Even though, Mark, they don't like original Halloween.
Jokers.
Yeah.
Even though they don't like...
I'm going to get them.
And by the way, I was very explicit, and they were explicit too, that it is me who did not like original Halloween, not movies, films, and flicks. They were very fair.
I'm going to obliterate them.
What are you talking about? They were very fair, and they gave us a very kind advertisement.
Like, watch your back, Crash Palace.
Watch your back, Crash Palace.
Better make me associate producer. I'm gonna obliterate you.
Yeah. All right, guys.
200th episode, by the way. I'm looking forward to the day that we do that. We still got to hit 100.
200 episodes. That's insane. Yeah, that's like about 4 years worth of episodes, right?
Oofda.
Oof.
Yeah, this is 81.
Yeah. All right, guys. For my co-hosts, Mark Hockmar.
Thick Skin Jim.
Thick Skin Jim. That character needs fan fiction.
Yeah.
John Lemongood.
I'm going to call Frank Miller and have him write about Thick Skin Jim.
Yeah. I've been your host, Dead Skin John. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
My ankle.
We're above the target. T-minus 5 seconds till shark drop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the shark! Go! Go! Go!
This podcast is a Shark Dropper Studios production.